All right, guys, this is Mark Blanton from the Real South Africa. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Hey, everybody, how are you doing out there in America, especially, but of course, around the world, wherever you're seeing this video. My name is Mark Blanton, and this is
Latasha Blanton.
And we are the owners of the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism, obviously based in Johannesburg. A lot of you guys know this, and if you're seeing this video, you might as well go ahead and subscribe. Y'all guys know we put out a lot of content, a lot of great content, that'll, self-professing.
That's okay. It's good content.
Yeah, so we are coming to you. Like I said, we're in Johannesburg. Been here for a lot of years, about seven years full time. So that means that we actually transitioned from living in the United States. So we kind of done all of that. And then now we got a travel and tourism company here in South Africa, which basically assists those to come to South Africa as tourists. What else do we do?
Well, not only do we assist people with coming to South Africa as tourists, we do it on a high level. So because everything is luxury, everything is 5-star, that's what we know the people that are on that other side, the diaspora, that's what they deserve. So that is what we do. So we provide luxury tourism to those in the diaspora.
Exactly. So I know some of you guys are like, why are they doing that? I could just go to Google. I could just this. I could just that. And you can. And a lot of people have. Mm-hmm. And obviously you never hear those stories that happen afterwards, because there are stories that do happen. We realized back in, at least I realized back in 2017, my first trip that I did was in 2014. I brought some people here. And of course, at that time, I had been going back and forth for many years at this point. How many years? About 2 or 3 years?
Well, yeah.
About 2 or 3 years. And so I was like, okay, I feel qualified enough to at least, show people South Africa. And I wasn't coming just once a year. I was coming multiple times a year, because when you come to South Africa, especially and I was fortunate to come here properly, it's motivating. It is absolutely motivating. And of course, it makes you want to learn more about South Africa. You spend time on the computer learning about South Africa. Mm-hmm. You actually make friends that are South Africans. Mm-hmm. And then you start learning the culture. You start learning things, and then of course you start realizing that there are some conflicting things from the U.S.
Yes.
There's a lot of conflicting things. I got to a point where I couldn't bring my U.S.-ness to South Africa and think, oh yeah, I'm just going to operate like I always operate. Yeah. Let me give you an example. Obviously those are in the U.S. We make a phone call. We call an agency. We call a company. We call whoever we need to call. And everything is pretty much just the way it's going to go. Just got to make a phone call. You don't have to even know them, have any pleasantries.
No.
You could just basically just call, and you can pretty much expect things to happen the way they're supposed to happen. Mm-hmm. And you don't make a complaint because you're used to it. You've been generationally used to it. Your parents were used to it. Everybody's used to it. That's just kind of like how it works. I came here and it doesn't work that way at all. You will see a sign that says, hey, this is what we do. You will see a similar sign in the States say, this is what we do. But they operate a little differently, and for some odd reason. Not just in a bad way, but they just do things different.
They just have their own, they have their own way of doing things. So you need to keep that in mind.
Yeah. So, so over time, then I moved here. Me and Tasha, we got real acclimated to the system. We was going back and forth for many years, I think roughly about 8 years, planning, coming back again, meeting more people, having conversations, getting to understand how to drive on this side. We figured out, how to buy a house properly. We figured out basically everything. And then the good part about it is we had a bunch of South Africans that understood what we were trying to do, and they were willing to help. And we didn't American them to death. Like, no. This is messed up because this isn't, in America, because at some point we understood to be respectful and show grace for a country, especially one that back then was roughly at the 20-year mark of democracy. So they've gotten better, and they're going to continue to make strides, but they're still at 30, going on 31 years as a democracy, and things are forming and so forth. Like the lava is cooling, so to speak. But you got to think about that for a second. I mean, look at where we were in the United States. We all got history books and the History Channel and civics books and stuff. We wasn't in a great space, but they were growing. And as some people say, it's an experiment, and it's getting better. And America's getting, it's going where it's going. Let's just
leave that there.
Yeah, let's just leave it there.
Just leave it there.
So with that being said, I just want to say that when we looked at it as far as tourism is concerned, and I really want you to see the play of words in just a minute. It's not just coming on a trip. It's not just popping in and just say, oh, okay, I'm going to the Bahamas. You never see anybody from the tour organization that sent you down there, and so forth. And that's why I think a lot of people are not really like interested in moving to a lot of these places that they go tour at, because it's dry. I'm going to use that term. There's many words I could throw in there. But the good part about it is, I knew as an African American, and Tasha knew as an African American, that there was a lot here. And we knew that, we could take advantage of this thing, meaning that we can start coming here. So here I am, I'm looking, I pop into a proper travel agency right there in Fredericksburg.
Yes, you did.
And I said, hey, can you guys put me together a trip to South Africa? And I just wanted to see what they were going to say. They brought these brochures out. These brochures were like under some stuff. And they didn't really have anything set up proper. Let me tell you what we see in the tourism space before I tell you again why we did this. And Tasha can tell you too. We constantly see tourists coming to South Africa. They don't look like us. They don't speak like Americans. So obviously they're not African Americans in a lot of cases. There are some, Caucasian Americans or white Americans that come. I don't know what their story is because I don't track that. But how many times have we saw, I always think about the guy that we saw wearing the T-shirt. He was a bunch of white Americans. Not white Americans. They were foreigners. Or it could have been Americans. I don't know. But it was like one or two black guys, black people, and they had on their little shirts. Like, you remember that? Yeah,
here they are all inside the hotel, and they've all got their, group shirts on, and they're sticking out like sore thumbs because it's like one of these is not like the other. But they have more options now, but yet that's what they were doing.
Yeah, so here we are, we're in Johannesburg, and of course they're going to tell you Johannesburg is horrible, Johannesburg is this, Johannesburg that, because that's their experience. They control all the media, so they're not actually talking to us. Mm-mm. They're actually talking to their people, whoever they may be. And I don't want to sound bad, but they're not talking to us because that's not our issue. But we assume it's our issue, so we might get a call. I heard. Okay, great, but that's not our issue.
Right.
So in this particular group, of course, we see the Asians, we see everybody's coming, right?
I mean, they're coming in, they're coming by the plane load, they're coming by the bus load. Believe me when I tell you.
And there's a reason why they come to South Africa. And the reason why they come to South Africa is what we show people. And what I mean by is they see what we see because they come a lot, and they're like, we need to bring more of our people, and they just come. The all the stuff, the crime statistics and all these things, they bypass all that.
Yeah, that doesn't keep them. That doesn't keep them from coming. And you also got to remember too, like he was saying, it's not like they're advertising the beauty of South Africa to us in general. But if you go across the world, if you go to Asia, you go to those places, they're showing you what South Africa actually offers. They're showing you the beauty. They're not just showing you crime. They know that it exists too, but if they can get over it, then why can't you?
Exactly. And they're showing them the opportunities.
Yes.
The opportunities, right? And again, they're doing all this through tourism. So that's not talk about just taking a trip.
Yeah.
So when people say to us, I'll take a trip later. No, that's, do the trip. Forget the trip. talk about the tourism space.
Yes.
Inside of the tourism, there is a trip.
Yes.
And certain things need to happen inside of that space. For example, we do our real estate tour. And these people lose their mind. They're like, wow, we're getting everything. Well, think about it. These Asians come here and everybody else come here. They're connecting they're connecting easily because they've been doing it for years, and they get the inside scoop. Who's giving us the inside scoop? You're not going to find that on the street. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're not going to just land in Johannesburg, Durban, Cape Town, Bloemfontein, Polokwane, Port Elizabeth, East London, Nelspruit, anywhere. And I just named a few off the top of my head. There's a few others out there.
Yeah, there's
so
quite a few others.
Richards Bay, if I didn't say anything about you, if I didn't say Durban, I'm so sorry, Amans and Toti, I got you. But anyway, I'm not naming that, but you're not going to get that information. It's just not going to happen. So what we decided to do was put together a tourism company because we found out through our time, this information is passed through tourism. That's why they do a lot of events here. They do a lot of business events here.
A lot.
That you're not invited to. They do a lot of that, and that all falls under the tourism umbrella. Okay? So for us to be recognized, for us to do what we do, if I just said I'm coming here to do a trip, nobody would respond in the Republic of South Africa. There'd be no need, a trip. But if I'm doing tourism, now they're responding because that's like a buzzword. That's what they know.
But explain to them the tourism arc. Explain to them and you guys, we hammered this home because there is a tourism arc.
Yeah.
But you don't just. You have to start the arc. All arcs have a point here and then they come over. You don't ever start the arc in the middle. That's not how it works.
Yeah, you're going to have to go back to zero again.
Yeah, just to start the arc over again. Yeah.
And that's what happens to a lot of our people. They come here, they're watching a tons of videos very similar to this one, or they might be getting it mixed up. They're talking about Ghana, but South Africa must be the same because it's on the continent. It must be the same as Tanzania. And unfortunately, we get a lot of phone calls. We take a lot of phone calls, and people do mix those things up. They mix it up, and but they, in their mind, they are well read, and they know. And even though I live here, there are people telling me about South Africa, and I'm here like every single day. Do I know what's going on in America? I get the headlines.
Yeah.
But for the last 7 years, I haven't lived there, so I can't, specifically tell you. I can tell you what it used to be.
Yeah. When
I was in D.C., I could tell you, oh yeah, this is how they do this. We went back maybe once or twice, and I'm like, wow, this is different.
It's completely different.
Yeah, things change. So things change here too. So going back to why we started this, I looked at it. We're business people. This is who we are. This is who we were before we came here. And when it's time for us to leave, we will still be business people. This is kind of what we do. Say at the same time. So at the end of the day, we looked at this thing and we said, okay, let's do this. There is nothing in place for us to come visit South Africa. There is nothing. We have very few flights actually coming down here. There is nothing set up in, like, for example, a lot of people who come to South Africa, they came because they saw our content. Let's just be honest, South Africa tourism inside of South Africa, they don't market directly to us. They know their market, we're not the market. Let's just say it. Number two, they have a teeny tiny office of about 4 or 5 people in New York, and their job is to market to all of North America.
That includes Canada.
North America, which might include Greenland or whatever.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, I'm just saying that guy. But anyway, so so they can't cover everything. They cover very little. So that's why a lot of you guys hadn't heard about South Africa. You've been hearing about it, and then there's been a lot of people coming to South Africa because we came to South Africa. A lot of them didn't come through us, and then so you probably can tell the difference of people who come with us, because the ones that come with us, they tend to do very well. They tend to understand that you got to learn some things, and we put that in front of them so they can see it. We put them at a level where they're supposed to be. Go ahead, Tasha.
No, because what you're saying is the tourism arc.
Oh, I know what it is.
Okay,
yes.
So that is the tourism arc. You've seen people that have come with us and then they've had the experience, they've gotten the information, they've built the relationship, they understand the culture, they get their visa, and they move here. Those are all the things in the tourism arc, and those are things that started with the Real South Africa. They come here, and we provide all this stuff. Even in their visits, whether it be on a private tour or whether it be on a real estate tour, these are the things that you get, and they figure out for themselves where they want to get off. If they want to get off in the first part of the arc where they just want to travel back and forth, that's fine. But a lot of them travel back and forth, and then they finish the rest of the arc, i.e. they come back, they build a relationship, they get to know the culture, they get their visa, they move. Those are the people that you see that have done it properly. That's the tourism arc.
Yeah, and not everyone, is on YouTube. Like, we just got a call literally before we started this video, Chelsea. She came with us many years ago, but she's been going back and forth with us to the point to where now she's comfortable being in South Africa. She's comfortable. When she leaves the country, she just lets us know, hey, I left. When she arrives back in the country, hey, I'm here. We might not see her, but we know she's here. And, a young Black woman. And so she also saw some opportunities to go to school. I think to get her master's or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but she's going to Wits University. And she starts class tomorrow. But then she contacted us and said, hey, I need to get my student visa. How do I go about this? She didn't go on the internet and start searching around and start what this person said. She just called us. We gave her the correct stuff, so she got her visa. She just called Tasha just before.
Said thank you.
Said thank you. And we get a lot of people that says thank you because we set them up for success. But the thing is, she was motivated. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, those that haven't been here on a proper visit, if you don't know what it's like to be on the levels that we put people on when they come here, and then you realize it's attainable. If you just think you just come in here and we don't do what we do in reference to putting you on the levels, if you've never been here, you won't know what we're talking about. So maybe you can just omit yourself. But those that have been here knows exactly what we're talking about. And then they're like, this is the level I've been working for all my life, and y'all just handed it to me. Yes, because you paid a price, and we're going to give you that. Once that's happened to you, that's why you see all these people that come with us specifically. I'm not talking about other people who do other things and they're happy. But the ones that are like, oh my God, I need to move here, is because they came with us and they like, holy crap, I saw it. And I can actually afford it, and I can actually do it. Now, those are the ones that are going to go back home and, change their life around, stop, stay out of Amazon, and they're going to start saving money, paying off cars,
getting rid of stuff,
and start doing all the stuff. And the good part about that's easy for us to work with.
Yes.
Because you're not dealing, we deal with a lot of people, a lot. And those that aren't motivated are going to take all the time from the people who are motivated.
Here's the thing, too.
It is what it is, guys.
What I cannot do, what I'm not willing to do, is try to coach you on how to transition to another country that you've never been to. That's like me trying to coach you to move to Saskatchewan and you've never been there. And I'm like, oh, all you got to do is this. You got to find a house online, buy a house. Let's just use common sense, people. Like that doesn't work, and I'm not going to be part of something like that. But what I can do for you is get you an introduction, a proper introduction to the country, give you an opportunity to see what is actually available, see how you can make that work for you and your family. And then from there, that's when all the magic happens.
And then
that's when all the magic happens.
Now they're like, wow, this is what's happening.
Yes, this is what I can do for my family.
Yeah, so we're not being gatekeepers. I know there's some people thinking, oh, they're being gatekeepers. Well, no. We know that we're here, and there's a lot of South Africans that contact us. There's a guy who wants to meet me tomorrow about some socks. He has a company that does socks, and he wants to be able to sell it to our customers that come. And we found out that our customers like socks.
They do.
Yeah, so I will have a conversation. So there's a lot of people reaching out to us, and I have to manage all these things to make sure that our people aren't getting bombarded by, stuff that they don't need to be bombarded by, and they're protected. And then our people are always realizing, they always like, they realize about day number 2 or 3, this is different. We're traveling with this real South Africa. People are moving heavens and earth for us because we want our tourism company to do well, and we want them to recognize the Americans that are coming here. As much as special as we think that we are, we turn a few numbers, but especially the Black Americans, we don't hardly turn any numbers. But when you start looking at Europe and all the people that's coming here, if they are a proper business, they're going to cater to those guys, and they should. Like, why wouldn't they cater to these guys? And then here you go on your little onesies and twosies. They're going to be like, okay, you can stand over there because we got this group of 100. And that happens. I hate to tell you that, guys. And there's nothing wrong with doing business. So we could do business as well. So when we are bringing our people on a regular basis and we're constantly showing up and showing out, they start making a way for us. And then they look at the real South Africa. They call us on a Tuesday on any day and say, hey, can we have coffee? Hey, we was thinking, do you think your people would like this? Do you think your people would like that? And then we can actually just pop in. We're not in the States.
No.
We're not going to do no Zoom call or something like that at 30 in the morning in the States. So we are pretty established here, and you guys need to be taking advantage of it on a regular basis. So if there's somebody out there telling you that, you could just this and just that, ask them, are they going to take responsibility when things don't go the way they need to go? Just ask them that. And if they're gonna say, oh no, I'm just letting you know, then this is too much of if you are talking about moving here to South Africa, and the reality is, here's the trick about all this. Pretty much everyone that's gonna come and see what they wanna see, like, this is my goal in life. And South Africa has a lot, but it's for South Africans. Let's just call it what it is. They are allowing us to play. I was going to say,
they're allowing us to be a part of this.
They're allowing us to play, but they want you to come proper. So that's why you hear me say it all the time, because that's what they say to me. Come with a visa. Don't come here illegal. Have yourself in order. South Africa has been through this process with other people many times, and it didn't work out well. So they want it to work out well for us. So they're like, Mark, tell your people this, tell your people that. And I'm sitting here saying, they're not necessarily my people. Like, I don't own them. They get to make their choice. So when you decide on your own to come here and make a lot of mistakes and get a little bit upset, because unfortunately, most of us Americans are high strung coming off that plane. Y'all don't even realize it, but you are. And
that comes across.
It comes across.
Across, and it rubs South Africans the wrong way, because the second you start bringing that American energy, that negative energy that they see from other types of people, they don't want to mess with you. They really don't. And I was going to say, and they don't have to.
Keep that in mind. This is their country. There is no picture of Donald Trump hanging around at every building. There is no
American flag hanging off.
We the people.
There's
Constitution hanging around everywhere. They have the South African Constitution, and they have their own president, and they have all the people in the citizenry are South Africans, for the most part. So let's just keep that in mind. And if somebody keeps saying to me, have some grace. So I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, coming on a tour, I said tour, not a trip. Coming on a tour with the real South Africa is extremely beneficial. It's extremely beneficial. It took us years to get this information and to put this thing together, and then to have so many people come through our portal as tourists. Trust me, some of them are like, well, okay, I'll come. I'm like, that's fine if you do. If you don't, that's okay. Or we have a lot of people, and there's too many of our people. They get here, they book a ticket, they get a hotel, they think it's hot. Which there's a lot of hotel brands that you have no clue in what's actually here. You just going by what somebody said. and you'll pay for something, and you be like, man, and sometimes I'm thinking, wow, they would have went with us. They could have got got it.
Yeah.
You know, because everything is upgradable. You know, it's the real South Africa. This is kind of what we do.
Yeah.
We're not braggadocious, but we have put that work in. We put in a lot of work, and we brought a lot of people. And there's a lot of people who go back and forth right now. I got a 5-year plan, I got a 4-year plan, and they're actually working that plan to those that actually just showed up a few weeks ago. I think about Marcus and Brandy. They came on the tour.
They actually 2 years.
Yeah, they came, but they came before us.
Yeah, they did mention.
To Cape Town.
Yeah, that
they came
went,
to Cape Town.
They didn't use our services, and they said Cape Town was okay, but it wasn't for them. Mm-hmm. They knew they kind of wanted to live in South Africa. Their story is very similar to ours. If I have to be honest, we obviously came to Johannesburg first, and only stayed a couple days, and then we spent 2 months in Cape Town. But we still chose Johannesburg. They obviously chose Johannesburg too. But when they came on the real estate tour, that's when they actually started to formulate their plan, to put things in place, to set goals, to determine how they were going to get rid of their house, how they were going to get rid of their belongings, which visa they were going to get. Yeah. And they did all those things. We do have a book that assists you with those things. You guys can get that on the website. Yeah. That's the first step too. But even in the book, it still says you need to come on a visit. We're never going to get away from that. Yeah, but they did all those things, and they're here. It took them 2 years, but they're here. Yeah. But they're here. So
they seem pretty happy.
But they're here. But they're here.
Yeah. So just, there's, like I said, you can risk it. I know Tawani told me, she says people are spending more money and messing up, meaning that they keep making a lot of mistakes, and they just keep and they have to go back and reset. And
mistakes cost money. Yeah. They cost more money than doing it right the first time.
Yeah. But trust me, most people who come here, especially if they come here proper, and I keep saying it, they see what they can see, the food they're eating, all this stuff, and they're like, I need this in my life the whole time. Mm-hmm. They want to come back, and then that's when they literally just say, okay, Mark or Tasha, what do I have to do? Because I see you guys over there. Mm-hmm. You guys seem to be living pretty well. Now we met you, it's pretty clear that you are happy campers. You're very clear. It was clear. They're like, wow, you guys put up in something nice, and you guys live in a gated community. In the States we just call it gated community. Here we call it in the state. Yeah. And I'm in my mind, it's for all of us. Yeah. In most South Africans' minds, it's for all of us. But you gotta come proper. Yeah. And that's what they're gonna say. And so when you come here, when I say proper, let me give you just one example. Yeah. Okay. Let's say, for example, here I am. I want to move to South Africa, so I'm trying to rent something. I'm trying to buy something. You got to understand that when you come through that customs, you are a tourist.
No matter what.
No matter how much what your mind is, no matter what somebody on YouTube told you, you are a tourist. And the reality is, the reason why people have so many hard times finding something to rent, most time it ain't what they want. Because what they want to rent, a citizen of South Africa is like, no, because you didn't come here properly. You don't have resident status.
Visa.
Yeah.
A proper visa.
Yeah. So you gotta have resident status. Yeah. And most South Africans they want the money. And there are many people coming to this country. This is a very highly sought after country. So when you hear people talking about, I'm having problems renting, or this, that, and the third, or let's make it even better. They decided, you know what, I got enough money, I'm gonna go buy a house. Okay, you are a foreigner. Let's just call it what it is. You are a foreigner. Trust me, not under all scenarios you're gonna get treated right. Things happen because you are a foreigner and you don't know the difference between this and that. And that's another reason why our real estate tour does very well, because I know how everything's supposed to be. Yeah. And I bring in the people that they need to speak to, and I challenge them way before these people even show up. Yeah. I challenge them and they like, oh, okay. And our people get proper service, and you be like, dang, these people are buying houses. Like, how are they doing all this? Well, again, we do tourism. And part of that tourism arc is at the end, you want to come here and contribute to society.
Yes.
You want to come and contribute to this society. And that's the end of the art. And so when we say tourism, everybody in South Africa knows exactly what we do. And then South Africans are sending us messages like, oh yeah, you guys are doing it right. You guys are bringing in good people. Your guys seem to be doing better than those, and this is their words, doing better than those that seem like they're doing it themselves, because some of the mistakes these people are making
are easily avoidable.
It's like, why? And then we'll get a message from somebody saying, you need to help them. And I'm like, no, they need to come proper.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm just going to say it. If you pop up here at the airport and you're like, okay, and then you run into something, which you may, it's a great country, but you're going to run into something. Trust me, even if it's just in the language barrier. And I'm not talking about Zulu and English. I'm talking about English and British English.
Yeah.
And South African English and American English. Two different things. It's two different things. And you might not understand exactly what they're talking about. Or you're talking and you like me, I'm speaking plain English.
Yeah.
Yeah. For America.
Yeah.
But not for here. So I have to understand, how am I talking, who I'm talking to, how to talk to them, to get the response that I'm looking for. And a lot of people run into that as a problem. So again, you can avoid all these things, all of them. I know there's some of you guys might not remember, but back in 2018 when we was coming, I think we started our YouTube channel in 2019. People were actually coming here, and if they wanted to really get a good understanding of South Africa, they would stay 30 days, 60 days. South Africa is so kind. They give you a 90-day visa.
90-day
on your
visa.
First shot.
Yeah.
And people were taking advantage of that, and we were setting them up for success. And they were staying in these locations where they had internet, nice places. I mean, everything was just nice. And they were like, how did you find this? I said, I don't have to go find it. This is where I live.
Yeah, this is South Africa.
Yeah. So we want people to continue to take advantage of these things. We don't want to be the group of people that come here and at some point somebody has to say, what are they doing here?
Yeah. Yes.
And there's a lot of people that came before that made YouTube videos, and it upset. And I understand that in those YouTube videos that you're really just talking to your American audience, but the South African audience is tuning in.
They want to know what you're saying about their country, and they like the fact that our channel is mostly positive information. So they're expecting you to still give out positive information. When you come with negativity about their country, they're like, we don't want to hear that. We get enough of that in our own news. Can someone please
say something,
say something good? Proper, you know what I mean? So again, be mindful, have some grace, understand that you are a guest. Even if you are a resident, temporary or permanent, you're still a guest. They were nice enough to allow you to be here. It's still their country. And if you want to make sure you don't offend them, you want to come properly. You want to enter that tourism art, come the right way. And then that way you can be a positive asset to their community, and you can invest in the country properly. Even a visit is a micro investment.
Yeah.
It's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in the country. Those are the types of things that you need to be thinking about versus jumping to the end of the arc. You haven't even built a relationship. You don't know how anything even works. And if you come here, and I will tell you this because I've watched enough people bump their head. If you come here and you start acting like things are supposed to work and flow like America, I promise you, the South Africans will push back.
Absolutely. You're
not going to get anywhere. You're gonna bump your head, and if you don't show some respect for their processes, they are not going to help you. South Africans are all or nothing. And not in a bad way.
But think about what they've been through.
Yes, exactly.
They finally got here.
Yeah.
Here come you from this privileged position saying, well, y'all need to do this and y'all need to do that.
Yeah,
and that's just totally wrong. as well. Let them grow. Show them some grace. Let them grow. Privately, you can talk to someone.
Yeah.
Maybe drop a tidbit here and there. But they don't want to hear from us like that. They don't. They just want to meet you, and that's the key. They want to meet you.
Yeah.
And then you show them who you are. Like in Black Panther, show them who you are. They want to see who you are before they can say, okay, this brother, this sister, this family is good to go. But and lastly, I just want to say that it's so funny. You know, you guys don't know. I mean, one day we'll do a video talking about some of the things that happen in this tourism space. One of the things that happen is most of the time, some of these people that come and have these problems, and they do, and sometimes you never hear about it because they don't do a channel. They call us before they come and we tell them, hey, this is what we could do for you. This is what we're willing to do. This is what we could do. No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
And then they end up thinking that, okay, they're going to do it on their own. And they can. And I'm not saying you can't.
Right.
But just go along the way. Just understand you're going to have a bunch of bumps. You're going to have a lot. We had it because we didn't have nobody to chat with way back in the day. So we wanted it to be a lot easier. Like my sister who's here now and my brother-in-law, we made it easy for them because they came on many trips. Then they listened to what we were saying. And then when we put it in front of them, they didn't say, oh, because in America, this is how it is. This is how they just say, oh, this is what you need for me to do?
I will do it.
Mark, wow, that result was amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that's how it worked.
Yeah.
Of course you didn't. And there are many others that are running around this country that literally are like, I'm living in Durban, now living in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. You know, those 2 trips we came on with you guys helped us a lot. It put us in the right mindset.
Yeah.
And when you talk to those people that especially came with us, do we sit around and just chat about America? No, we generally don't.
Talk about how wonderful South Africa is.
Yeah. And the opportunities that we got.
And how lucky we feel to even be allowed to be here.
Yeah.
So when he says, you know, the people that we've talked to that end up coming here that don't use our services and we get that call, keep in mind we're busy.
Yeah.
There are people that have paid us to be here that
Absolutely.
we're going to give our time to. That just makes the most sense. So unfortunately, you might get some responses that you don't like, or you may not get a response at all, because we are concerned with the people that have paid us, that want a proper experience, that want to be shown South Africa and the positive light. That's what we do. So just keep in mind that we are busy. We will do our best, but chances are, if we've spoken to you and you decided not to use our services, it's not saying that you can't re-up our services, but just to get here and start asking us a bunch of questions, we're probably not going to be able to assist you. Yeah,
because the crappy part about it is that we're still living our lives too. We're still living our lives. We're still enjoying ourselves. We're still traveling the country. We didn't come to the gate and stop. We came to the gate, and for the last 7 years, we've been doing some of the most amazing stuff this country has to offer. We hate to even leave the country. We went to Mozambique. It was like, that was cool, but
I was like, I want to go home.
Yeah, you know, Namibia, it was amazing.
Yeah, I love Namibia,
I like the
actually.
food. Yeah, I can go there all the time, but I'm here most of the time. We went to Zimbabwe. That was cool.
That was fun.
I was ready to come back to Johannesburg. Johannesburg is very special in my mind. I think there's others that would say Cape Town is very special.
It's just beautiful.
Listen, there ain't no one size fits all. You know, like there are people that literally think, okay, if I come to South Africa, I must move to Blue Valley. Do you realize there's like 20 to 30 estates just in Johannesburg?
Yeah.
Golf community estates, and they're all different based off of your lifestyle and what do you want to do. And the people that come on a real estate tour, that's what messes them up. They're like, wait a minute.
It's too many choices.
Yeah, it's like this. I'm spoiled for choice. And that's why you'll hear me talk to them and say, what type of lifestyle you want? Hey, I want something for my kids. I want this. I want this. I want that. But then you need to go over there. Oh, I'm thinking about, da. Then you need to be over there. And then they're like, oh, you trying to pigeonhole me. You trying to redline me. I'm like, no. And then we go, they're like, yeah, you was right.
That makes sense.
This is right. And I'm like, they're like, how do you know? I'm here all the time. People in the real estate space constantly talk to us.
Yeah.
Because they want these international investors that's who these people are.
Yes.
And I said the last real estate tour, a bunch of property got sold.
Yeah.
But a lot more than what you would believe got sold. Because these people came here and they saw the opportunity. And it was like one of those deals where, hey, you can't turn it down.
Yeah.
And they didn't, and they jumped on it. And then we put together a process so they're not out there on their own trying to figure it out, or they on this side, South Africa, they don't know what they're talking about. We're gonna get them for extra whatever. No. It happens. But it won't happen with us.
I was gonna say no,
that's not happening.
No, we've already had those conversations. But you just gotta make sure you're dealing with the right people. And if you're dealing with this one right here, he gonna drill you until you basically cave in and be like, whatever you say.
Yeah, I mean that meaning not to our guests, but
no.
I'm
saying
whoever we're talking
that's
to.
what I was saying. Did it come off like I was saying something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To like when I say dealing with this one, I'm talking like the GMs, the managers, the owners, those types of people that we vet and work with. He has basically made sure they understand the assignment.
Oh, yeah.
They understand the assignment. When they understand the assignment, they're like, oh, this makes so much sense. Yes, how can I help you? Yeah. That's what I mean by that.
And you know why I could easily do that? Because I'm no different than them. I'm not.
Yeah.
I understand. Our people are coming from the position that they're in.
Yeah.
So you almost fight every day.
Yeah.
You almost gotta assert yourself, and all the stuff that we gotta do being Black Americans. And the crappy part about it is, it shouldn't be that. And I want our people to come here for the first time and not have to concern yourself with, they're gonna do me dirty, or is this gonna happen, or I gotta keep my guards up, or I gotta go fight for something. I want it to just come to you.
Yeah.
I just want it to come to you. And that's why a lot of our people are on they're repeat offenders. That our recidivism rate is high because people like to come back because they don't want to have to worry about nothing. So all these people, they come and then we've been here for 7 years. Somebody that we bought 4 years ago, they came 2 more times since then. Then they started coming on their own because they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And my goal is for you to come on your first trip, get comfortable. If you come back on the second trip, it's because you're like, okay, well, I want to go to Durban, but I want to go to the way that you guys do it. And then we say, okay, no problem. Probably by the third or fourth trip, they're like, okay,
I got it.
I got this. Hey guys, I'm here. We got a Daryl Shaw. So if Daryl's watching this, I got to respond to you. He's been here a few times. He's brought big groups of people with him, and they had the most amazing things. But now he's doing something down in Port Elizabeth. What we call it, it's actually called Gaherpa.
Yeah, I can't say it,
but it used to be called Port Elizabeth, same place. It's the same place. And he's doing something down there. He just reached out to us, let me know. And at the same time, he's like, if I need something, hey, bro, you don't came, you understand. A very smart gentleman. And the good part about pretty much everybody that we bring, everybody's on the up and up. Everybody, they're smart, they're intelligent, and they figure it out so fast. They're like, oh, okay. And that's what I'm expecting, because they are no different than us. They are no different, and we figured it out, and I think they can figure it out. But you got to start off on the right foot, and that's what we like for you guys to do. But you have to come on that initial tour. Do a 6-day, do a 10-day, do a 13-day. I want to go to Cape Town. I want to go to Safari. I want to do this. I want to do that. Those trips aren't things that are frivolous.
No.
And let me and I know I said it was almost the last thing, but this is very much the last thing, I promise. They're not frivolous, because if you come here on your own, let's say you came here, you just showed up in Johannesburg. For the next year and a half, if you happen to even stay here straight through, people are going to say, everybody you meet going to say, have you been to Cape Town?
Have you been to Durban?
Have you been here? Have you done this? Have you done this? And they're going to be like, before they tell you anything, you need to go do that.
Yep.
That's exactly what they're going to say. Well, have you been to...
They're not going to tell you how to do it.
No, they're going
to tell you to do it.
Yeah. But they're going to make it seem like it's a prerequisite for them to even engage you, because in their mind, you don't even understand South Africa yet. And until you understand South Africa and you act accordingly, you got an uphill battle. You just got an uphill battle, and and it doesn't have to be. Invest in yourself. Come on one of our trips. I promise you, you're gonna be like everyone else. Start out on the front end. What about? I was thinking. I heard. I read something on TV. I read an article from last week.
I saw something on the news.
Everything.
I saw this.
You're gonna hear
that.
everything.
I was talking to one of my friends.
Yeah, and you're gonna want me to try to solve it for you. And I'm just gonna look at you and I'm gonna say, listen, where you stay is probably worse.
Full stop.
It probably is, but you excuse that. But you heard something that happened somewhere in Africa,
9,000 miles away.
9,000 miles away, and you're like, oh my God, it's what's going on? And I understand the fears. You don't think I didn't grow up in the United States? I grew up in North Carolina, Fayetteville, went to Cumberland County schools, the whole nine, and I heard the same thing you heard. I did, but unfortunately, when you come and see it for yourself, but if you come in to look for the danger, you will be sitting right in the danger.
Yeah.
If I flew into to St. Louis and jumped in a car and drove straight to East St. Louis and start acting up, then what do you
expect?
What do you expect? If you drive to come to DC and you start hanging out in the Southeast,
oh Lord.
Southeast East is nice, but a lot of things happen down there as well.
Yeah.
You should know these things. And so I know one time we had this is a short story. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Had a young lady with her family. Husband wasn't here yet. He was coming. And she was hell bent on going down to Mobening. And I like Mobening, but she's a little lady. She's like 4'11".
She had 4 kids.
She had 4 kids with her. And she got so comfortable with what we were doing, that she wanted to go down there because she heard.
But it was like late in the day.
And it was getting late, in the likelihood of something happening, it goes up. Let's just say that. And then our drivers call and say, hey, she keep wanting to go to so-and-so. I told her, but she insists. What do I do? I put her on I said, put her on the phone. I explained it to her. She was still like, well, I want to go because, and I understood she felt comfortable. I said earlier, her husband was not here. So it was her with some bunch of kids. The chances are something happened was getting a little bit crazier by the minute. So I just told the driver, I told her, no, she's not going. She was upset with me, upset with the driver.
Was hot.
Yeah, she was upset. I said, bring them back to the hotel. We upmarket, uptown, everything's nice, and whatnot. The husband shows up shortly after that, and he gets off the plane with the other child. And I explained it to him. I said, hey, I don't know if she's told you.
That's why I let you know.
I just wanted to make sure that she was good, and I had my eye on her, and all he could do was shake my hand and say thank you. So that's what we do here at The Real South Africa. So if you got any questions, reach out to us on our website, therealsouthafrica.com. You can actually book a call on the website as well. If you need to, we would love to chat with you. If you're looking at trying to book to South Africa, we don't do the what about thing, because this country is amazing. And as you're whatabouting, the plane tickets are being sold to other people that don't look like you. And they're coming. They're coming. All right, we'll see you guys here in sunny South Africa. This is Mark Blanton, and this is
Dr. Latasha Blanton from The Real South Africa Travel and Tourism.
And we have amazing packages to Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban. So we would like to see you guys here. All you have to do is just go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and we'll make sure that your trip here is amazing.
See you here in sunny South Africa.
All right, guys, join us in South Africa on this special tour that we're putting together for you guys, those of us who like great spas, luxe experiences, great food, great venues, like top-notch everything. This tour is for you. They're not too different than our regular tours that we normally do to Johannesburg, Cape Town, but this one is going to be extra special because you're going to get a chance to meet the chefs. You're going to get a chance to, just chill out. And of course, there's going to be a lot of shopping involved. So just go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and you too could be chilling in South Africa. And if you've never been to South Africa or you've never been to Africa, well, this is the perfect time for you to book that trip to make sure everything is taken care of, because we take care of your transportation, We take care of your hotels, your lodging. We take care of all your venues where you're going to eat. I mean, this is a no-brainer. It's the easiest way to travel, and to travel proper is to have everything selected for you, sorted, so you can have an amazing time. So all I can say is book this trip, and of course, go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and you're going to have the most amazing time possible. See you in sunny South Africa. All right, guys, the real estate tour for 2025, it has been set. We're going to Durban. Durban is amazing, as you can see. A lot of coastal villages, a lot of coastal property that you're going to be able to see right there on the Indian Ocean. We're going to be having a lot of events while you guys are there. Just like the 2024 trip, they were surprised of how organized and how well it was, and that they had access to property, and you're going to be able to have access to property as well. So if you ever thought about having property in sunny South Africa, this is your chance. I would say book this trip immediately, come through. Of course, we have payment plans and so forth. And of course, we have a lot of content on our YouTube channel talking about what they did in 2024 and in 2023 and in 2022. So I would say for you guys that are interested, come to sunny South Africa Real Estate Tour.
Imagine a place where your history comes alive and your future unfolds. Welcome to South Africa, where Black excellence meets natural wonder. From the vibrant streets of Johannesburg to the sun-kissed beaches of Durban, a journey of discovery awaits. The Real South Africa Travel and Tourism understands your journey. Because it's our journey too, we've curated experiences that speak to the Black American soul, ensuring your trip is not just a vacation, but a homecoming. From safaris that bring you face to face with majestic wildlife, to wine tours in the lush Cape winelands, we offer adventures that cater to every taste and interest. So why are Black Americans flocking to South Africa? Because here we don't just visit, we belong. Book your unforgettable journey today with the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. Discover your roots, embrace your future. The Real South Africa awaits.
All right, guys, this is Mark Edward Blanton from the Real South Africa. And guess what? Our visa services is back. We're going to be helping you guys with visas because we all know that it can be problematic to get a visa here in the Republic of South Africa. So what we have done, we partnered with a big company that will assist us, and we've checked them out. We recommend that their services are very, very proper. Of course, we go with proper here in the Republic of South Africa, and they can assist you. So if you have questions about, do I qualify for a visa? Then that's when we have our consult. You get a consult with these guys. They will literally go through everything with you. And my expectations is for you to ask all the questions that you need to ask so you will know exactly which way to proceed. So they work in every arena of immigrations. So it would definitely help us who are looking to migrate to the Republic of South Africa. And all I can say is first, come on a trip, of course. And once you come on a trip, then you will be motivated to do all the work that needs to happen for you guys to come to South Africa properly. So all I can say is this is a great team. This is a great situation. All I can say is, again, reach out to us at outreach@therealsouthafrica.com. We will respond to you, and then you'll get an email, and then the process has began. Okay, so we will see you guys here properly in sunny South Africa.
South Africa has partnered with the firm to give you more options for payment. Please visit our website to find out more.
Do yourself a favor. Come to South Africa. Come to the Kruger and enjoy what is meant for you to enjoy. Look at this environment. Can't you see yourself enjoying yourself right here with the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism? Well, we can make it possible, and we can do this for you today. Go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and book, and you'll be part of something like this, something very special, something you can tell your friends and families that you did. And yes, this is Africa. This is the Africa that they do not want you to see. But we're going to show it to you, and we're going to make it available. And yes, we've been there ourselves, and we feel that this is the best experience that you can actually have here in the Republic of South Africa. So come here on safari with us. And of course, visit our website, therealsouthafrica.com. All right, guys, welcome to the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. We are a travel company based in Johannesburg. However, we can get you to Durban because look at what you're looking at. Isn't that amazing? Can't you imagine yourself just hanging out here for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days? I'm trying to tell you, you're probably not going to want to leave like a lot of our guests from the past. However, all you have to do to come here is reach out to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and you can come and enjoy and see what South Africa is really about. There's so much here, so much to do between the beaches, between the culture, between the food and everything else. And of course, the people here in South Africa in this place called Durban. We will see you here in sunny South Africa. It is time for a vacation, and where else would you want to go? Look at South Africa as one of the premier destinations in the world. We have Cape Town, we have Johannesburg, and of course we have Durban, and of course some of the best attractions in the world. We offer 5-star experiences here in South Africa, and of course the cultural side of South Africa as well. Contact us now here at The Real South Africa.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on all things The Real South Africa. Thanks again.